Free Jose Daniel Ferrer now and all political prisoners in Cuba. We request their freedom immediately, including those of Venezuela, Nicaragua, North Korea, and China. Good morning to all my fellow compatriots. God bless America. Here I am once again, and to inform what's happening. Like always, I'm going to show you this advertisement. My page is going to get a little bit better as long as when I receive this phone holder, which I sent for. So I'm going to keep on doing the way I'm doing things, and you'll see it'll get a little bit better. I don't have to be doing this like holding, or it'll be more professional. Here, this is the advertisement for this buddy of mine who has a technical shop in Mayagüez, where he sells these electric generators that work on batteries and plaque and solar plaque. They seem to be pretty good, a pretty good idea, which will replace the gasoline operated generator. For those who, like me, suffer from chronic asthma and don't want to deal with gasoline anymore, or with leaking lines and have to be putting in contaminants like oil and other kinds of stuff. Well, this is a very good alternative. But like I always say, and I'll say it again, always request a guarantee and make sure it works on 220. Just make sure, so it won't happen like it happened to me with these plaques that I had once. I had to get rid of because it was a total failure and a fraud. Don't be fooled by these solar plaques that they want to put in your house, like 9 or 10 or 12 of them, depending what you want or what you're going to operate. This is a better deal. Well, if you get the most expensive one, according to what he told me, make sure he puts it down in writing and he guarantees it that it will work a couple of days if you have a electric failure or shortage. It'll work for maybe like 3 days with the solar plaque, maybe even more. Who knows? And always request a guarantee. Make sure that it'll work, and that it'll work on 220, not only on 110, but on 220. Well, that's it with the advertisement. Now we're going to go to the news. Like always, I always start off with Islam. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, let me go a little bit further back. Boy, is there a lot. I put down this title besides the original title that this news came out of. We had the most evil Democrat in U.S. history ready to mass murder millions, and it's true. Bernie Sanders. This guy is offering to install communism. And if you hear videos or read about the bloody history of communism, believe me, he's going to murder millions of people. These people, I see these young, ignorant guys, requesting Bernie Sanders, the leader of the Democrat Party and all this stuff, and cheering for him. They don't have an inkling of an idea, and they don't care. These guys, they don't care. It's like it's going to be a party forever, under communism. It's not like that. It's going to be a horrific nightmare from hell. And if you don't believe me, ask these people that fled Cuba, fled Venezuela, those who are still alive, which I doubt. There might be a couple of that are still alive. they got to be very, very old. People that fled the ex-Soviet Union or communist China under Mao Zedong's Great Revolution. Millions of people died there. I'm talking about 60 million. There's a chart on the people that died, the amount of people. And if you go to the ex-Soviet Union, it was just, it wasn't as bad, but it was pretty bad because we're talking about over, I think, 50 million. The last time I read, sometimes I can't confide on my memory because I just lose it right off the bat. But I think it's 50 million, and 50 million is a lot. If it was 50 million, and then we're not including Cambodia. You ever saw the movie The Killing Fields? Or we're not talking about Cuba or Venezuela, and the people that had to flee the communist regime of Cuba, where they had to cross this ocean, this vast ocean, devoured by great white sharks, because in their coast they have great white sharks, and we might have it here in Puerto Rico on our coast too. I don't know about them, but I know there is in the coast of Cuba. So a lot of people have died. These people are murderers. They're not they have no compassion. And then they put people to administrate that are just as evil. They train them. They train spies. They train people that investigate you and inform on you. What happening is in our universities and our schools is we're replacing knowledge, history of these evil regimes for socialist professors who will teach what they want you to believe. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Bernie wants to offer you free this and free that and free that, like in Cuba, like they did in Cuba and Germany and with the Nazi Germany. Remember, Adolf Hitler was a socialist. Bernie Sanders is a socialist. They all offer this. Well, the different ones that Hitler was to the extreme right, but then he stole from other people who were not compatible to the Nazi race. He had them murdered in order to steal all their property. Be careful what you wish for, because if you think everything is going to be free, it's not going to be like that. The money's going to have to come from somewhere, and our dollar, our American dollar, will devaluate and become nothing. And then Bernie Sanders is going to come up, because he's going to have to. Hey, in those communist systems, there's equality. Well, everybody's going to be equally misery under economically under extreme misery, or paupers. Let me put it that way. But a doctor, professional, university professor, a judge, engineers, they don't make the same money as, and let me tell you what, and it's just as bad, but they don't make the same as the regular people in Cuba, the people that are in lower rank or less education. Somebody who studied, let's say, to be an electrician or to be a teacher, they don't make as much as a lawyer and a doctor and a professor at the university. And let me tell you, you know how much a doctor makes? The doctor makes more or less like about $26 a month. All you doctors that are socialists out there, because I know doctors that are socialists here. And I've confronted them with that. Oh, so you believe in reducing your pay to $26 a month? And when I tell them, they say, no, I don't. Then they change their mind. I had a doctor that took care of me. You know, he told me, you know, he talked the greatness of communism. Oh yeah, and he told me I was in Cuba, and also you believe in communism? Oh well, socialism looks good. Oh, you really? So that means you believe it that a doctor should make $26 a month, where they can't afford to even buy themselves a bicycle. And when I told him that, he was, oh, wait a minute. And I confronted another guy too. This guy was a boxer, and he looked like he wanted to fight me when he started talking to me. And I told him that I do news and I denounce what's happening in these communist countries. When I told him that, the guy looked like he wanted to, you know, he looked like this type of guy who's really a boxer, the type of guy who likes to pick a fight. And he told me he was a socialist and that he liked socialism. He believed in Che Guevara and all that kind of stuff. I said, oh, really? And you know, I kept quiet because I knew the guy wanted to bounce on me. You know, he was a security guard in the mall near where I live at. And I let him talk. Then he came to the part where he told me, well, since I wouldn't talk to him too much, because I said, well, this guy is violent. Let me let him talk. Because at one moment, he's going to stick his foot in his mouth. And that's exactly what he did. I told him, look, let me tell you something. I want to give you an advice, just in case. Don't save your money for all that stuff, because once communism is imposed in the country, it makes me laugh because the guy made a turnaround, like a 360-degree turnaround. I told him, once communism takes power, everything belongs to the government, and everything you have is no longer yours. It's going to be to the government. If you complain, they'll put you in prison, or they might even kill you. So, you know, if I were you, don't save your money, because what are you going to save your money for? If you're a communist and you're defending an idea that's going to bring you down to the level of a hobo, you know, you're going to be so broke and so misery, with so much extreme misery, that you know you're going to be to the point of like a hobo. And and if they do let you stay in your property, you're not going to have enough money to pay, because you know I asked him what he was making, and he didn't. I forgot how much he told me. Maybe I think it was like $1,000-something a month. And I told him, well, how would you like it if the government took over and he gave you only $10 a month? That's what's happening in Cuba. Oh no, the guy changed around. I mean, it took him like a second after I finished to change around. Oh well, one time I discussed this guy who was telling me about the beauties of communism, and I answered him back, and I told him this, and I said, oh, then I looked at him and I said, oh, well, you're not a communist after all. And you know, he had to like, no, I didn't say that, but he kept quiet. He didn't say a word. He just, like, oh, wait a minute, it wasn't me. I wish I would have taken a video of that moment. It'll make you guys laugh, because everybody, all these young guys that support Bernie's communism, which is the same destructive communism, is not the one that Bernie's saying that Denmark and Holland or what other country, which I really, I don't know the names of all of them. I remember Denmark, him mentioning Denmark, and I read a little bit about Denmark, but it's not a communist country. They have social programs, but it's not a communist country. It's a capitalist country, where they have stores and businesses, free marketing and everything. And I think once I think the other one was Switzerland. He mentioned Switzerland, I think it was. They experimented at one time socialism, and it didn't work. It almost destroyed the country. So, don't pay attention to this. This guy's a lunatic. He's a crazy maniac lunatic, and he wants power. This guy's a frustrated ex-bum, who's evil. He's evil. You can see his mannerism and the way he reacts when people take his microphone and grabs it, like, with this anger. But then he walks away because he knows that if he explodes, he's going to hurt himself and his future. And then the way he acts, like a child asking for, hey, excuse me, teacher. You know, you see him taking out his hands like, teacher, hey, I want to, I have a question, I have an answer, you know, like a child, all bent over, you know. This guy looks like a, you know what he is, and I don't know how the youngsters can't see that. And Buttigieg is another one. In John Miller's video, I saw Buttigieg. He showed a picture of Buttigieg eating, I think it was a pizza, a sandwich, a cinnamon bun, and this guy looked like, you know, the range. I think I got it right in my blog. I might show you a little piece of it. I might, because his, even though John Miller's great, what happened is I haven't received my how they call it, the phone holder that I'm waiting for. It's supposed to be coming maybe this week or the end of this week. I mean, the end of this week. I think it was like Saturday or something like that. But then I have to wait till my wife goes to the post office, brings it over. So it might take maybe till Monday. I don't know. When I get here, you're going to see it, because then I'll be able to put on videos and it'll last longer, and I'll show you and explain, and it'll look more, like I say, a lot more professional than the way I'm doing things here right now. But I have to do it that way. It's more economical than trying to learn how to edit, and it takes less time. Because if I'm going to go to edit, it's going to take me a whole bunch of time. I won't be doing, you know, it'll take me a whole day to be here, and I don't want to be a whole day, you know. So I'm going to try, because I want to denounce what communism is all about, what Bernie Sanders is, what Buttigieg is, and the whole Democrat, what Elizabeth Warren is. They're all the same. Don't get me wrong. One is not better than the other. They all have the same intention. They want to destroy. They want to take power, and they will destroy you. You, those who are supporting Bernie Sanders, you will be destroyed, and most possibly killed. Why? By hunger or by lack of medication? Because everything is going to go out. Everything will be destroyed. Everything. Look what happened in Venezuela. People died because these people that have how they call it, urinal infections, or they have they have to take a blood transfusion for their renewal of blood. You know, they're not having they're dying because they're not having, you know, there's not the medication or the equipment, sufficient equipment to help them regain their health. And a lot of them, these patients are dying. I can't just, you gotta excuse me, a lot of words are not just coming out of my mouth. But these patients, they're dying from right to left, because that's not the treatment. That's not the right treatment. Like in the hospitals in the United States, or like here in Puerto Rico, or like it used to be in Venezuela. It used to be, Venezuela was a booming economy, to the point where it could almost surpass the United States, because it was a filthy rich oil country. And look what it is now. People begging, running away from the country, you know, and dying from right to left. You want that? I'm talking about these students, the liberals, or grown-ups, because you got the Danny DeVito, you got Michael Moore, you got a whole bunch of other actors. Robert De Niro, all of these, you know, defending communism. And you know what really blows my mind out? Is they're millionaires. They're millionaires. They become millionaires, and they're communists. And they don't know that all those millions they have will just disappear. Because everybody has to be equal. Everything will be owned by one man who was a bum almost all his life until 40 years of age, when he got his first job, paying job. Bernie Sanders. What do you think about that? A man who criticized billionaires and millionaires is a millionaire. You know, there's got to be a problem with you. You're defending that, or you just don't want to know. You don't want to know. You think everything he's offering is going to be free until when you graduate. Okay. Let's say everything is free. Let's say he got rid of the military like he's wanting to do. I'm going to go with that news because I got it right here posted. Let's say he gets rid of the military because they went bankrupt. No more money for the military. It all went to pay the debt of the students. You think you're going to get paid good money under him? Ask those that were doctors in Cuba. $26 a month. I knew one that I had to go rescue him with two mattresses that I had and a futon, which is this kind of a how you call it, living room bed seat that it turns into a bed. Yeah, I'm talking about a seat that turns into a bed, a futon. The guy was sleeping on the floor. A doctor in Cuba, he fled Cuba, and he had a certification. What happened was the certification wasn't accepted because it didn't come sealed by the Cuban government directly to the College of Doctors, to the board of college of the Doctors College, and for that reason he couldn't request how you call the test here, because if he would have gotten the certification, the certificate, which he had the original with the seal, if it would have been sent from Cuba directly to the board of doctors, I don't know how they call it, college here in Puerto Rico, he could have been able to take the test, and if he passed it, he could have practiced or start practicing in the hospital. But since he didn't have, since his certification didn't go directly over there, he had to work in a pharmacy. How to call it? I think it was less time because he was living here in Puerto Rico. When he fled, he came to Puerto Rico first, and then he went to Miami. So I haven't heard about him anymore. But let me tell you what, the guy was he had two sons, and they were sleeping on the floor. His wife and two sons, and his wife was pregnant. Sleeping on the floor, on the bare floor. And when I brought him the mattress, he's like I was an angel. He was happy as hell. I took him to a pharmacy that was open 24 hours, which was, I believe, was Walgreens. And he looked at everything that was available because I made him a little grocery because I'm not rich. I just did it to help him out. And he told me, help me out because I need this and I need that. And I bought him the most urgent stuff. And then he was on his own. But, the Cuban community over there in Maya West, well, they helped him out, which I thank God. But let me tell you what, you should talk with these people. These people should go to schools and get conference on their experience of what communism is all about, including those from North Korea. But you know what's happening to our college? They will not permit it. Or these students, they'll riot and they won't let them speak. Or they'll attack them, punch them, or probably even hurt them pretty bad. Because they want to impose communism. Because they don't know what the hell they're supporting. They don't even know what they're standing at, unless they're just as evil. Let me go with the news, because now I got out of the way and I'm taking time here from the news. Bernie Sanders, the first news. Bernie Sanders went to ISNA convention with supporters of killing gays. Did you hear that? It won't say it here, but you know what those supporters were? Muslims. Won't go to but he won't go to AIPAC. This is him. And there's a Muslima, I think it is, with her hijab. There you go. You can see it right here. This is the kind of pearl that wants to make America a socialist. There's the lady on the bottom. You see the lady here? There she is. He goes there supporting these people that support killing gays, but he won't go to APAC. There you go. There you go. That speaks a million words. What else do I have to say about this fiend from hell? And if you can't realize and you can't see the picture and analyze, then you have a problem. Then your problem is up here. It's not that you're lacking knowledge. It's that you're just deranged. Okay, let me go to the next one. I put down the title. I think I already said it already. I put down the title, "The Most Evil Democrat in U.S. History, Ready to Mass Murder Millions." Then I put that apart because that's the way it's going to be. Believe me. And I hope it never happens. The only thing you have to do is look towards Venezuela, look towards Cuba, look towards North Korea, look towards China. They still have brutal oppression there, even though it's opened up the free market because it wasn't working. Socialism wasn't working there, and they know it. That's why now it's a super economic power. But they still got brutal oppression there. You can't say a word, you can't say anything, but they'll pulverize you. From Nigeria, former minister says Obama, Kerry, Hillary Clinton helped enable Muslim persecution of Christians. And not only persecution of Christians, the mass murder of Christians in Nigeria. They don't say it that way. Maybe he says it on here, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a lot. It's a lot. They supported Muhammadu Buhari. And this is apparently this is the guy who they supported, who permitted this with the help of Hillary and the clan, the whole Democrat clan, John Kerry, Obama, and all those people. Believe me, Obama wasn't no piece, pretty picture either. The guy was our first terrorist, mass murderer president, a thief, and a liar, and a chronic liar, evil to the core. He was our first president, Obama. Barack Hussein Obama, who was born with the name Bobby Soetoro. PA encourages jihad suicide bombing. Life is insignificant. Allah grant us martyrdom. That's coming out of the mouth of these people. There's a video here. Let me see if the video lasts long. Oh, there's the video right here. Wait a minute. I pressed the button here. Requesting martyrdom, this fiend. And they're all like that, deranged, evil, criminal. She's whipped, brutally whipped, stoned, or hung, or shot. So you prefer, which one do you want, all you liberal women who support this hellish precept? You make your choice. I invite you, go over there. Go to Somalia, go to, see if you come back alive. Most likely, your body will come back without a head. That's most likely what will happen. because that's what happened to a couple of deranged, dummy liberals, female liberals, including male too, that went over there, got killed, and the women were decapitated. I don't know the men. I believe that them too. So go over there. Who knows? You might like it. Yeah, just it's like it's like Benjamin Franklin once said when they asked him, how about the Constitution? Something like that, something to the thought. And he like thought about it. He said, well, if we can keep it. He was celebrated, but then he said, if we can keep it. Because, it depends on us. It depends on us if we're going to maintain our Constitution, our form of life, of freedom. If we want to give it away or we want to keep it. But according to what I see, there's a lot of people that are just so deranged and so out of touch with reality that, some of them don't even know what it's like Mark Dyson and this other guy who has the same name I have, Eduardo, I forget his last name, who goes to the campuses and start interviewing people. And they don't have an inkling of nothing, of no knowledge. What they're teaching in those universities. It's incredible. There's a video claimed to be of a man who hates Islam. Vandalizing UK mosque is actually of a man vandalizing a shop in Poland. In other words, these Muslims, just to criticize what they call is the extreme right, which in this case, well, let me not give my opinion on that, because then they'll say, look, this guy is racist. I'm not racist. So I don't think these people should be anywhere near us. They should be far away from us, far away. In Somalia, they should be in Iran, Afghanistan, far away where we don't have them here. We can't have them here. I don't care how moderate they say they are. You got to go. I'm sorry. Bye. You got a couple of days to leave. If no, we just bring in how you call it, immigration, and just take you out, period. Goodbye. You got to go. Sorry. Here, I want to show you the video. I hope it's short. It's a short video. Yeah, it's a short video. They show these Muslims. They show this guy vandalizing a shop, and then they say it's an extreme racist of the right. This is why I believe in the Second Amendment too. Because if you got a guy breaking up a shop and doing this kind of damage, and then he comes over and tries to threaten me, I make sure I have a gun so I can shoot the guy. Oh, wait a minute, oh, good, a car ran over him. That was great. That was a great ending. Oh, okay, that's the way it should be. And go running off and get run over by a car. That's beautiful. Well, it wasn't against the Muslims, but for breaking the shop, I have no pity for the guy. If he's dead, if he got killed when that car hit him, make sure you put him in the grave 9 feet under so he won't stink. Here's another one. This is the last one about Islam. Muslima listen to this, okay? All you Muslim lovers out there. Muslima, this is from the Religion of Peace, like I always put in the last one. Muslima on flight to Dallas, Texas. I'm going to stab everyone on this plane, then kill myself. I'm Palestinian. That's this deranged, deplorable nutcase who shouldn't be in the United States. What the hell she doing here? There you go. I want to show that face. There you go. Now they're going to say I'm Islamophobic. You're damn right I am. None of them should be here. That's this lady right there. There you go. She's the one who said it. Let's see if there's a video of this nut. She threatens to kill everyone on United flight. I guess it's United Airline on United flight. I don't know if there's a United flight or United Airlines. They shouldn't be on our planes, or they should be patted down from head to toe. I don't care how bad they feel. Pat them down. You got, Islamophobic. No, I protest. At the same time, call immigration. Call immigration. We got a nutcase. We want you to pick her up and deport her. That's the way it should be done. You don't like it, you're going to leave. You're going to assimilate, and you're going to like our laws. And if you don't like it, you got to leave, period. Whether you like it or not. And CARE, the organization of CARE, should be shut down and all of them deported. All of them. And if Farrakhan doesn't like, Louis Farrakhan doesn't like it, he also should be exiled. Exile him, send him over there. He said, you don't like it? Okay, you're going over there too. He made a comment here. I got it posted here, so I'm going to read to you the comment Louis Farrakhan made. Another Muslim supremacist, racist, who wants Israel destroyed. Boy, we got another nutcase. Talking about nutcases. Amy Berman, America's Roland Freisler. I wrote that title. You know who Roland Freisler was? Anybody out there know who Roland Freisler was? He was the judge during Hitler's era who sentenced a lot of people to be decapitated or hung. He was this crazy judge, Roland Freisler, talking about during World War II in Nazi Germany. And this lady is acting just the same. She's ignoring the rules in our Constitution and the laws and rights of others, like Roger Stone, who's innocent. And just because she doesn't like conservatives, she builds up charges and gets them out of who knows where. She's acting just like what these communists want for America. She's one of them. And she's acting just like the Nazis. The Nazis did the same thing. They didn't like you because you were against them. Hey, you got to go. It was deadly too. And in communism, it will be just as deadly too. There's a score of, let me put over 40 million, because I don't remember if it's 50 million, which I think is 50 million, which were mass murdered in the ex-Soviet Union, in Joseph Stalin's era. She's acting the same way. They're ruling out all the laws and your civil rights being replaced by their will. We don't like Trump. We don't like that you voted for Trump. We're still going to impose our will, no matter what. We're still going to impose tyranny and hate against you. This way it's going to be. Instead of doing it the right way, where if you charge for, like many of the liberals, if you charge and you committed a crime, then you got to go to prison. But not take innocent people who are innocent and proving innocent to go to prison. What kind of deal is that? What kind of law is that? What kind of justice is that? Why we are permitting it? Why this lady is not in prison? She should be arrested and thrown in prison for violating the law, for acting criminally. Let me show you her face. Another Hillary Clinton. act alike. There you go. That's a judge. I should have taken a photo of Roland Freight. Let me see if I can get it right here right away. So you out there can know who Roland Freisler was. Let me get it right here. Wait, it won't take me long. Hitler's judge. Okay, let me put down Hitler's. I think I wrote it that way. I got it real quick. That's the way I got it real quick. I got it. This guy was a deranged Nazi fanatic. There he is. That's Roland Freisler. There you go, right in the middle, making the Nazi salute. This guy was a murderer. He wasn't a judge. He was a murderer, a lunatic, just like Hitler. That's Roland Freisler. And this judge, this lady judge here in the United States is acting the same way. Amy Berman, I think I just said that her name was. So now you know who Roland Freisler was, acting just like this mental case. Amy Berman, Judge Amy Berman. Let me put a little bit where you can see the reading there and her name up on the top. That's what coming out of those are the people that Obama named to be judge of the United States. People who were just like criminal, just like him. Evil and criminal, just like him. And she acts like she's a real judge. Oh, I'm a real judge. Okay. I put this title out myself. Bernie plans to wipe out America. Bernie Sanders to fund, look at this, listen to this. Bernie Sanders to fund major multi-trillion dollar plan with military cuts, taxes, lawsuits. Okay? Plans multi-trillion dollar. Let me say it again, because maybe you can't hear. I'm talking about liberals. I refer to liberals. Military cuts. In other words, he wants to wipe out our military and impose. I don't think it's going to happen, because what he's going to do, he'll probably reduce the salary and reduce the level of living of the military to a point of almost pauperism. It happened in the ex-Soviet Union. You had officers. I remember reading about an officer who complained and said, we don't have heating water. In Russia, where it goes down to below zero, they didn't have heating water. I'm talking about the officers. You can imagine how many people died of pneumonia there. Or wouldn't take a bath, because what the hell, what kind of baths I want to take? I'm not going to take a bath in freezing cold water. I don't care how bad I stink. I remember one time on the ship I was on, there was no there was no heating on the ship. The heating I think they were fixing it or something went wrong, and I had to go take a shower. This wasn't Chicago. No, wait a minute. No, this wasn't Philadelphia. I was stationed at the Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia, and I had to go take a shower with all my clothes, my field jacket, and my everything on. And the shower worked with a chain. It wasn't like you turn it on and it'll last as long as you take a shower. No, you had to use a chain. Then I had to use the chain, put it on hot, of course, and then pull a chain. And I had to soap my hand soap myself with one hand. A lot of times, what I do is I would put head and shoulder, which was quicker, head and shoulder all over my head. And take a soap and then because I wouldn't let go of the chain. If I would let go of the chain, I wouldn't be here. probably be dead would have been dead with pneumonia a long time ago. And then I had to, little by little, put on my clothes as best as I can without getting drained in water, just by the heat, and then go back to my business on the ship. This is funny. They got a funny story here. One time, they call on general quarters. General quarters, like they would say, this is a drill. This is drill. Or they would say it's not a drill. There was a combat situation, like Pearl Harbor. But remember, I was in a time where there was no real war going on, and but then if they called general quarters, I had to leave what I was doing, no matter what it was, and I had to go running to the flight deck or to my station. But then one time I remember they told me, no, you got to go up to the flight deck because everybody's up on the flight deck. And I was with my towel, and with all this head and shoulder, looked like a Martian. Head and shoulders green, so I looked like a Martian. And there was another guy in underwears, and we were laughing our butt off because this guy was in underwear. It was like, what the hell? And you had to go and you had to report. You had, I think it was 5 minutes to report to your battle station. And if you wasn't on time there, the person in charge the officer in charge would say, you go to mass, or the chief petty officer. It could have been the chief petty officer. There was an officer on deck at that moment in charge. You go to mass, report to mass. And it would be like, at that time, $25 fine or $15 fine, I think it was, which was a lot of money. It wasn't much what we were getting. So it would have been $25, and we had to leave what we were. Like I said, I went up to the deck with a towel. They had this towel with buttons, and I went upstairs with towel. I had nothing underneath, just the towel and looking like a Martian with green hair. I told some people about that. I don't know if they would believe me. Only those who were on the ship and know about what general quarters is about, because they would just call it would like this loud dong, like the ones they use in these churches. How you call it? Bells. One of these bells. Bang, 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 bang. This is general quarters. General quarters. This is a drill. This is a drill. General quarters. General quarters. And they would say like something like go to your battle stations or something like that. I forgot. I remember the dang, 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 and even if I was sleeping, dang, dang, you had to get up and run to your battle station, no matter how sleepy you was. And those who wouldn't show up, hey, go to mass. That's how serious they took it. ABC News agenda to mislead voters. O'Keefe taunts impending release of new undercover video exposing ABC News agenda to mislead voters. We all know, like, we're talking about fake news from the far left. That's not new anyway. You guys already heard of that, unless you don't want to listen to conservative true news. Washington Post columnist demands journalists abandon neutrality in Trump coverage. This is coming out from the Washington Post. I hate to hear that, but it's happening. Margaret Sullivan, a Post columnist, is demanding that journalists abandon their supposed objectivity as they cover the presidency of Donald Trump, saying they should just label a lie a lie. Oh. Oh, that's what's happening. Let me see what else we got. Oh, I wrote this title down, Circus in Town. Then debate meltdown. Candidates scream at each other as debate turns into clown show. There's the title right there. Besides the original title, I wrote up there, the Circus in Town. And that's what the way they acted, like a circus. There's a video here. You see Bernie Sanders like a child, like a child, like one of these kids that I remember in school that thought he knew everything, and they was dumb as a rock. Let me see if this lasts long. I hope it doesn't last long. There's a video here. Oh, yeah, it lasts.
Democrat was Barack Obama a few months ago. And I think that's what we should do. They are not with you on spending nearly $60 trillion. What I think we should do is make things more affordable, nonprofit public option, make sure we're paying for long-term care better, take on the pharmaceuticals like you and I have done together, and do something for the people of America instead of a bunch of broken promises that sound good on bumper stickers.
Mr. Steyer, I think we're talking about
get to you, Mr. Sanders.
Let's talk about can I say something? Look, first of all,
Let me go.
I think she was talking about my plan, not yours. I think we were talking about math, and it doesn't take 2 hours to do the math. Because let's
There goes Bernie, the communist clown, millionaire.
Okay, so here's the math thing. No, here's the math. Can I respond? Doing nothing is what will happen.
Senator Sanders, you're allowed a quick response, and then we would like to.
I wonder if Buttigieg brought his husband with him.
Senator Sanders?
Moderator, it's my turn. This
Senator
helps a lot.
Sanders, you have been name checked. You are allowed to respond.
Oh, I got one on Elizabeth Warren later on.
Human Services have
Let me
said
get to that one.
analyzing
Make you guys laugh.
costs. What recent Yale study has said.
This guy's a real bullshit. Sorry I said that. I just can't stand him. I can't stand him because he's lying from right to left. Which communist doesn't lie? And the whole Democrat Party has turned into a communist party. So, all of them are lying through their teeth. And Elizabeth Warren, she complains about Mike Bloomberg, but she's even worse. I got something that's humorous. I'm going to show you just a little bit in a few minutes. I wrote another title, Comedy Hour, besides the original title. Somebody wrote here as a question, what the hell? WTH, we all know it means what the hell. Biden claims listen to this. This is Biden. This guy is just completely batty. Biden claims half the population of the United States has been killed by gun violence since 2007. This is nut right here. The guy's nuts. Running for president. Well, this is not to surprise anybody. Let me see. This video. I think there's a video here. Let me see if this one here. Okay, no.
That has caused carnage on our streets. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. That has caused carnage on our streets. 150
There goes Barney interrupting like an ass.
have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. That has caused carnage on our streets.
I can't stand Bernie. Let's see what it says here. It says 8 Democrats and independent Mississippi. No, wait a minute. Let me read it again. I just said it wrong. Went too fast. 8 Democrats and independent in Mississippi switch parties to Republican. Hey, those who have a sense of mind and can reason correctly and have studied the past, it's not going to stay in the Democrat Party realizing that they all turned communists, or they elected for the party to run as president a communist. Everybody in their right mind is going to walk away from it, and that's what's happening. Look, I want to show you just a minute. Leaders express concern over socialist Bernie Sanders. And a lot of people are talking about it. I got a whole bunch of news about that. There you go. I'm not making this up. And we're not talking about those that left, that fled Cuba, that fled Cuba. There's a lot of commentary on that one. You got Elvira Salazar, and you got a whole bunch of other Cubans, denouncing Bernie Sanders. And they want him out of the ballot, even in Florida. Even in Florida, they want him out. No, we don't want this guy here. We don't want him even in the ballots. They don't want him. The only ones that want him is these people that are that are coming out of the universities, and who knows what the hell they're teaching there. That they have their mind on maybe drug addicts or people that are high on drugs or partying all day. Or I don't know what the hell they're teaching them, that they don't know what's happening in this world. And no, Bernie Sanders, I'm for Bernie Sanders. And then you tell them the truth that, hey, look, it came back. It just went off the signal. It just went off a couple of seconds. I was explaining something here. I just hope, I don't think it came out, but we have to be very careful. Things that, it's not the way these young kids from the university are thinking. We have to go back to teaching history the way it should be done, showing what reality is, not what the communists want you to believe. And so you have a lot of these young kids. Let me see. I want to say this again, just in case it was missed, because it just went off. The signal went off for a few seconds. But what they're learning is destroying their mind. I mean, as a matter of fact, they're not teaching the right things because they don't know. A lot of them don't even know about the bloody history of communism, and you see them supporting it. When you confront them with proof about what's happening, and that Bernie Sanders said this and this, they said, I'm not going to change my mind. I don't care. I'm just not going to change my opinion. I'm still going to vote for Bernie. That's how the race they turn out, the youngsters from the university. What they're teaching there, I don't know. They should be obligated to take a course on the bloody history of communism and Islam too, included. Look, this is the truth about Islam, and this is the truth about communism. And it should be a required credit. You take it or you don't graduate. And then if they come out of the universities not realizing, don't let them graduate, or it's because they're just plain evil. And it won't be a lot of them, because a lot of them is just they don't know. They don't know. Because I've seen people, like I said, a guy named Eduardo, I forget his last name, who goes on campus. Campus Reform is the name of the program. And he starts interviewing these young guys, and then he tells them about the truth. And Mark Dice also. And you see them, they don't even know where they're standing at. Or some of them are just plain evil. They say, I'm not going to change my mind anyway. I'm still going to vote for him. I still support him. In other words, they're masochists because they support their own death. Because that's what's going to happen under communism. They're going to die. Let me go further on. Wait a minute, I think there was a video here on these guys. Let me see. Let me see if there's a video. Oh yeah, there is a video. Let me see. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Yep, there is a video.
The Mississippi Republican Party is welcoming some new members, and all of them were elected to public offices as Democrats or independents in this most recent election cycle. 3 News Side's Courtney Ann Jackson has the latest from today's party switch announcements.
The Mississippi Republican Party chairman says he doesn't expect this will be the last time they are welcoming new members to the GOP.
We have had a relentless focus on switching conservative Democrats over to the Republican Party. They recognize increasingly that there is only one party that represents the conservative values of our state, and that is the Republican Party.
All 8 of the latest party
How
switchers
true?
were from Smith and Covington counties, and one district attorney whose district covers those areas. But the conversation didn't take long to expand to the national party ties.
Find ourselves in a scenario in this country where you can choose to be a member of the party led by President Donald J. Trump, or you can choose to be a member of the Socialist Democrat Party led by Bernie Sanders.
Millsap's Department of Government and Politics Chair Dr. Nathan Schrader says given the GOP sweep in statewide offices last year and the approval rating for Donald Trump, it opens the door to this.
They have a plausible argument to make for these elected officials that your constituents are already aligning with us, that voting patterns in your district are moving in our direction. You should just you should join the team too.
One of those party switchers echoed that